Hello. Today I want to do something a little different. I want to show something new players may not know. I saw this thread earlier and I thought it was kind of funny. We have this person talking about how many wallets exist and why people aren't opening and offering a service for it. Now it seems like they weren't aware that there's a rather quick way to set up opening wallets, and I want to walk through that a little bit. The core of it is using Torntools. Torntools has all these extra. Here's my guide for y'all. This is a little flash opportunity while we wait for a jail bust. But Torntools provides this quick item slot as well as a lot of other quality of life things. And so we're going to use this plus another script called Fast Packs. And we're going to be looking at how to just open up our wallets quickly. So the first thing we want to do is actually have wallets. So we're going to, typically you get these from the pickpocketing crime mostly. You can get a few and search for cash, and there's a few everywhere actually. I think burglary, some of the residential targets have them. But for the most part, you're going to get them from pickpocketing. If you're sitting here staring at people building up your CS, you're going to get some decent, a decent stockpile of them. And a couple of them are used for OCs and other things. But for the most part, what you'll be doing in pickpocketing is once you hit 100 CS, you can pickpocket cyclists, and when you pickpocket cyclists, you have a chance to give Xanax. So it's a really stable, solid income for anybody that has maxed this. You do have to sit here and stare at the screen waiting for those cyclists, and cyclists also give zip wallets. So I've opened a few hundred zip wallets myself, just doing cyclist and getting that about 10k per nerve from farming Xanaxes. But since I don't have any zip wallets on me now, we're going to go to the item market right here. Click on zip wallet up here. If you don't know, there's different ways to search Torn. The default is user, but if you come into item market, you can type an item name in and show up here. There's also areas where if you know the name of the area you're looking for, like ammo or something, you can use that. But for this, we're just going to be looking at zip wallets, and we'll find somebody with a decent. We're not too worried about profitability today, so we're just going to buy a few. That's 6,300 each, and we'll just search right here for zip. Here they are. We'll buy them. Now that we have some zip wallets, we can go ahead and open them. I would like to show you where Torntools and Fast Packs are. If we go to forums, my faction, useful stuff, we've saved all the useful scripts and things like that here. If you look right here at the very top, there's third-party websites. And then right after that, you see tampermonkey. This is a script handler, and it's the one we use, but there's other ones like grease monkey and all that. And if you know what you're doing and you already have that kind of thing set up for your browser, any of them tend to work. But for us, once you're on a browser, I use Firefox, a lot of people use Chrome. Either way, tampermonkey, you can install it. It gives you this little button right here, and you can start managing your scripts. After that, you scroll down to the scripts and add-ons. We have 3 overhauls that players in our faction use. Torntools is the one I personally use. It's not that much different from the other 2 these days, but I've been using it for so long, and it stays updated rather well and quickly, so that's what I use. Then we come down here, we have our competitive scripts, and then we have quality of life. And then right here we have our quick supply packs, or fast packs. And if we click that, we see who made it, Hemicopter, and we get the download for it. And they even have it for Torn PDA, which is a mobile app that allows script management. So this is possible with Torn PDA as well, since we have that thanks to Hemicopter. So if you reach this page at any point, now I'll actually put this link in the link to Torntools in the description for anyone not in Black Statues that wants to look at it. But after we have these two things installed, including tampermonkey if you don't have tampermonkey yet, then we can go over to our items. Go ahead and close that for now. And we can go ahead and put some items into quick items. Anything that has a use that needs to be done quick can be done here. If we look, things like temporary weapons, they have this little error that comes up, but if you keep clicking them, it fetches the information it needs and then it equips it. So these kind of yellow border ones you may have to click multiple times, but for any of the others, you click them once, it happens. Click once, it happens. So it's pretty straightforward. Have my drugs and cans and all those things. I get made fun of by other people in the faction for having so many things on here. Timmy said, you know, that isn't quick items, that's just items. And maybe that's so, but I find it to be very useful to have everything up here. So we have zip wallets now. We have 37 of them. We're going to go ahead and click this edit thing. This is how we move, add, or remove things from quick items. Then anything highlighted, we can just click to add it. We see that it's at the bottom, and I actually prefer it right here. I removed it just for the sake of this video. So now that we have it where we want it, we can go ahead and just click. I went ahead and clicked the plus thing to turn this off. And then it's just drag and drop whenever you're in this state. Then the plus again to turn that off. And if we click, get some stuff. So it looks like Torntools says we have a value of 5,000 that we got from this. And if we click, we can just see what we get. And we can click faster. And looks like we had 120k, 140k. Everything else looked around 10k or less. And that's the end of that part of it, but I would like to show one more thing, which is Torn.Report. If we come here, this is a wonderful website that tracks all sorts of things. I use it so I know how much money I'm getting with my nerve. Right here, you can track your energy, see how you're doing. Basically, what this is good for is telling you to take more Xanax, honestly, in my experience. But today we'll be looking at our supply packs. So right here, we're dumped with a lot of information. Torn.Report does require a API key. If you're unsure what that is, you click right here, and then Settings. And then you have an API key right here. These things are basically passwords to get information about you, and there's 3 default levels. The highest level has all your records in it. Everything from when you do these sorts of reports, all this log stuff. All this stuff is shown in the full access API key. It can be called through API request. And so that's how Torn.Report actually consolidates your information and views your records and provides information on your decisions, actions, and things you've done. Since we opened zip wallets, we're going to use this drop down, and we're going to use today. And another thing about this is if you make a lot of actions, API calls are limited to 100 actions per call, or per minute, I should say. And so the first time you load this will take a while. You'll want to open it up in a browser and then just leave it there to run. It may take like 10 minutes or something. For new players, it should be rather quick though. So if you're a new player looking at making the most out of your wallets for this example, then maybe it won't be too long of a wait. But we're going to do today, this is the default. We will remove select all and we'll just highlight wallets so we can get just to wallets. And right here we see we took a hit, we lost 9K, and this is based on market value. And we actually paid more than market, and 5% more, so we lost even more than this. But what's useful about this is we can see what we got all in one place. So we see we got an ecstasy, and LSD, and shrooms, and that made up the bulk of our income. Looks like about 70K of our 200K profit, or revenue, I should say. So we can make the decision that buying zip wallets at that price wasn't a very good idea, but we knew that going in. This was just for an example. If we go to all time, it's going to be using data from right now to determine the market price. So these losses and everything may not be accurate. It just depends on what the value is today compared to what it was when you open the packs. And that's something to keep in mind for the other things in Torn.Report, like Nerve and all those other things I was showing you. But if we look, let's go to wallets again. We can see our zip wallets have been generally profitable. And this is because these smaller drugs do come in pretty reliably. And you know, the rule of large numbers is whatever there is that's rare, it'll eventually show up if you use enough. So with our almost 1,500 zip wallets we've used, we have been able to get enough of these kind of starter drugs to build this value up and actually profit based on market price. So that's a pretty useful bit of information. We know at market price right now zip wallets are worth buying in large amounts. The trick is nobody's listing wallets at that price, so the premise of this thread that it's potentially good is not generally true. I mean, I open my wallets and I think you should too. There seems to be this thing about, you know, wallets, there's so many because people aren't opening them because it's slow, but we see here it's not slow and it is worth opening them, at least a couple of them. And the real trick here is that getting them for the right price or doing crimes to gather them is what's needed. And I do want to shout out billfolds. I have actively purchased about 200 of these in the past. And they do have those FHCs in them, and they're pretty solid. There's a couple of pickpocket targets that provide these pretty reliably, and I guess while I'm doing a little video on wallets, I should show that too. If we come to Nerve, I do a lot more crimes than I open wallets, so we can see how much time it takes to load here. I think that was the wait for about a week of data. Seems like it's been about a week since I've done this. We'll go to all time. And then we have this item option. And any items sourced through crimes, we can see where we're getting them. So we see we've gotten about 100 Xanax from cyclists right here. We see that our biggest moneymaker is embossers. We've made almost 400 mil off of them. And during St. Patrick's Day, you can get green stout from liquor store burglaries and shoplifting bits and bobs. And we've made about 180 mil from that. What I find useful is this filter and doing non-unique. And when you have that in here, it sets it up so that anything that, like with these stars is a unique outcome, it will only show items that are not like that. If we do unique, these are the little stars in crimes. Why isn't it working? I'm not sure why it's not working. Uniques view. This is a different view. I'm not sure why the item search is not doing unique and non-unique. But in any case, you used to be able to type these things in and use them, but let's not get too hooked up on that right now. We can see if we're looking at our crimes that cyclists are producing this, but we also are going to be getting a decent amount of wallets. You can see the cyclist gave us quite a few of our zip wallets we've opened, and shoplifting actually provided a decent amount of these old wallets. If we look at our billfolds, I believe it's mobster. Yeah, pickpocketing the mobster, and of course searching the cemetery. If you're doing search for cash, I don't recommend it because candles have dropped in price, but when forgery came out, candles were used to make one of the items, and the price of candles went up, so searching the cemetery was valuable for a bit. Resources like Torn.Report let you see what is valuable and what to do and how to make money, especially when there's some kind of hype like new crime coming out and everyone needing an item from an old crime. But in any case, that's kind of a quick rundown of wallets, how to use some of these scripts, quick items, and fast pack. I will put links to all those resources you need in the description, and good luck with these packs, opening packs. It can be a lot of fun, it can be profitable. You saw my drug packs were generally profitable. I think that's it for today, so thank you for watching this. Maybe it was helpful, maybe it gives you some ideas for a hustle in Torn, and if it did, good luck with that. I do enjoy the Torn community. I think it's a decent group. I like the idea of Torn because you can do anything, and if you choose to be an asshole, you can, but generally people help each other out, and I find that quite refreshing. It's why I enjoy Torn so much, so I do want to help you. So if you have any questions, comment below and let me know, and I'll answer them. I'll try to provide tips and guides like this more too, but I do want to focus on beginner guides, so if there's anything you need help from when you started Torn, just let me know that, and I'll try to make videos on that as well. But thank you for hanging out with me today. Hope you have a good one.